So if this morning you're like me and you woke up, you knew kind of what the day was gonna bring, right? You're gonna get breakfast, you're gonna go to the office, you're gonna stay in, or you're gonna take care of the babies, you're gonna do the things that you need to do to get by, you're gonna do your work, come home, eat dinner, and go to bed. That's the way that today's gonna go, and that's the way that tomorrow's gonna go, and the next day after that. But then sometimes we don't exactly know what the future holds. Morgan and I just found out some amazing news that as of just a couple days ago, Morgan is 15 weeks pregnant with our first kiddo. We are super excited and super nervous. And as I'm thinking about the future of what that looks like for our family, I'm realizing that I have no control on what the future holds for our family and for this child. Even the due date is flexible. Something like that can change so easily and so quickly that we have no control on what's happening. Now, luckily, each of us have plans in place for what tomorrow may look like. We've got a plan for the future. We're trying to take some steps forward. We've got a 5-year plan. We've got a 10-year plan. We've got finances figured out through all that. But to be honest with you, none of us have any idea that tomorrow is even happening. I mean, in the New Testament, James even states that none of us should even expect for tomorrow to happen. We're acting as if things are gonna happen and we're gonna do business just like normal. But the truth is that none of us even know that tomorrow is promised to us. Now, that's not to elicit any kind of fear inside of each of us. We don't need to be fearful that tomorrow is gonna happen, but it's a good perspective to have that maybe I need to live a little bit more for today. Maybe 2020 was a sobering moment for the majority of us, realizing that we have no control on what is happening in our lives. Sure, we can boast that we're in the driver's seat and that, yeah, I'm in charge of my life and I know what's happening and I'm the captain of this ship. But if this pandemic has showed us anything, it's that we're not in control of anything. Nothing at all. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 9 states that in our hearts, we're taking steps and we're trying to figure out what's happening in the future, but the Lord is the one that actually steps those things out for us. So it's good for us to plan and it's good for us to figure out what we're doing tomorrow and next year and next week, but we can't hang our entire hat on them. Now, God knows that that can make humans just like us, especially humans that love control, very nervous. How can I not know what's happening tomorrow? How can I not know what's happening in a week? I have to have things planned out because if those things aren't in place, who knows what's going to happen? And God knows our hearts and he knows what we're about. And he knows that we think those things, and he's got mercy and grace for each of us. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 may be some of my favorite passages in all of Scripture. And it says, "Don't be anxious about anything, but instead give everything to God in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving." And whenever we do that, we get peace that transcends all understanding. Now, what Paul is saying to the Philippians here is that we need to be able to give all of our anxiousness about tomorrow, all of our anxiousness about our finances, about our relationships, about anything that's happening in our world. We need to give those things up to God because he'll give us the peace that we need to be able to make it through this life. So yeah, we may not know what tomorrow holds, but the truth is that we don't have control. And whenever there's no control, that can bring about anxiousness. And that's whenever God meets us and says, man, you know what? I'm in control. You may not know what tomorrow holds, but I'm the one that holds tomorrow. Take some faith in me, take some stock in me. And whenever you have anxiousness about the future, bring those things to me and I'll let those things go. We let those things go to God. And we do that with thanksgiving because we can say, man, you know what? God's got the future and God's got us.